Do you remember the first time of being the first? The first to hope, the first to dream, the first to skydive, if you will, the first to want to be different. Can you recall that moment? Think about that surge of adrenaline, that quickening of your heartbeat. Picture the hush of the room as you stood up to ask a question in class, or that soft, vulnerable moment when you whispered, I love you back to someone for the very first time. It's like stepping into the light, isn't it? Where the world holds its breath just for you. Today, I stand before you to share my story, not just of being the first, but of forging a path in uncharted terrain, a path for myself and for those who walk beside me. I am proud to be a first generation student who grew into a first generation professional. My journey is stitched with loss, uncertainty, and hope, but it is also embroidered with resilience, and it echoes the dreams whispered in the quiet corners of my heart. I was the first in my family to leave home permanently after losing everything to Hurricane Katrina. That loss shaped me. It molded me to be the first in my family to be a director of a federal program to serve nearly 300 first generation college students. I didn't just teach them the value of being the first, I taught them the importance of not being the last, especially when facing loss. I grew up in a home bursting with life, five boys and five girls. Our laughter echoed through small rooms while our dreams stretched beyond our circumstances. I recall summers in Louisiana, hot. We would gather the entire neighborhood to play bingo for snacks. The sounds of rotating fans, kids counting spaces left on their cards, and the triumph of yelling, bingo, even if we had to use kidney beans as markers. Those were the great times. But there were hard times too. It was Super Bowl Sunday, same rotating fans, same house, but this time filled with smoke and adults playing their version of bingo. I was being mischievous, facing a life altering decision that I thought no one noticed except my cousin Benuti. He saw me, he snatched me up so fast that I couldn't even yell, Mama. Carried me into the kitchen. He fussed at me and he told me that I was better than that I shouldn't throw my life away. I fought back, frail arms swinging, trying to prove that I was my own boss. But then Benuti did something unexpected. First, it was a 1-2 fist combo to get my attention. And then, amidst his stern words, he cried. I had never seen a man cry before. That's when his words started to reach me, but I pretended to be convinced. But deep down, his tears etched something in my heart. He told me that he loved me as a little brother and how he can see my greatness. The real lesson came shortly after this day and conversation. We were told that Benuti had died. You see, my brain resisted his words that day, and all I wanted was to get away. It never dawned on me until after his death that I finally received his message. His words, once resisted, echoed louder than his absence. But my aunt always remind me, even today, how I look just like her Benuti and how she sees him in me. But she doesn't know this story, but his lessons lives in me. Then came 2005. Hurricane Katrina swept through our lives, leaving devastation in its wake. Among the things it stole were my family photos, snapshots of my birthday, my first steps, fleeting smiles that was tucked safely under an old mattress. Losing those photos felt like losing fragments of myself, and I forgot what I looked like. It's so strange that I would stare in the mirror trying to find that person again. But in that loss, something transformative happened. Stripped of physical reminders, I had to look inward and rediscover, redefine. I realized that while photos capture faces, it's the stories, the lessons, the emotions behind those photos that truly shaped who I am. I am keeping moving forward. After hitching a ride through Louisiana, there I was at a small liberal arts college in Fairfield, Alabama, Miles College. I was lost, but who knew I would be found by a small community within a community. I recall Miss Spraggins, Miss Hall, Dr. AG, and many others that never gave up on me, knowing that I had lost so much. Loss taught me more than any classroom can teach me. It taught me that identity isn't anchored in possession, but in strength, we find what we have to rebuild from nothing. Each challenge, from financial struggles to cultural barriers, became a stepping stone and not an obstacle. Late nights and dim lights, under dim lights, scribbled notes, and moments shadowed by doubts, they were not just academic hurdles. They were the foundation of my personal growth, etched in my adversity. Today, as I stand here, not just as a professional, but as a testament to resilience, I carry more than just my resilience. I carry invisible threads of experience of losses and unspoken wavering beliefs that growth often emerges from empty spaces left behind. Plus, I have gained 300 reasons to be disastrously hopeful from loss. And yes, I taught them how to play bingo using kidney beans. So here, some thoughts and feelings that you could take from loss. Understand that loss creates grief, and we have to acknowledge that grief is a natural way in human nature, and it manifests differently in all of us. There are 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And not everyone walks through them the same way. Like my lessons with Benuti, grief was even harder after his father, Uncle Gregory, had passed. But I had to realize that these were the stories that connected us. Find healthy coping mechanisms and seek support through therapy and conversation with friends or activities that bring comfort. Healing isn't about getting over loss, it's about learning to live with it in a healthier way over time. And remember to be self compassionate, be kind and patient with yourself. Grief has no set timeline. Grief can lead to resilience, personal growth, and a deeper appreciation for life. To anyone who is forging their path, embrace your journey, especially your losses. They were not just setbacks, they are the soil in your strongest root are growing. Loss may shape us, but it does not define us. And our response to loss and the courage to keep going and the hope we nurture, that is what defines who we are. Thank you.